welcome. I've been working through the suggestions that I received from Alex. He gave me 7 suggestions via email. By the way, my email address is david@daviddellman.com. Please do not hesitate to write. I would love to hear from you. I'd like your comments down below because it creates somewhat of a community experience. When you comment down below, everyone can see the comments. I can respond to them in a public way. Everyone gets to share them. But if you have something you want to say to me personally, and you might after this presentation, please reach out to me. Now, suggestion number 6. Alex asked me about mentoring service for magicians on particular effects. A mentoring service. I want to address that, Alex. I would love to be a mentor to you or to anyone else who needs a mentor, who needs a coach, who needs advice on a particular effect or on any element of their performance or career in magic. I would love to serve in that capacity. One of the best mentors of our time, and I compare myself to him and I fall way short. One of the great mentors of our time is Jeff McBride. He runs the Mystery School out in Nevada. And Jeff McBride is one of the truly great talents of our art. I am not one of the truly great talents of our art. And that's why, when you say, do you offer mentor services? And by the way, Alex, you're not the only person who's asked me about it. I've had other people contact me and say, do you offer this service? My answer is yes, I do. But as I said, Jeff McBride is doing wonderful work in his mentorship program. And when I compare myself to Jeff, I just don't stack up. But let me share with you my strengths and my weaknesses. And if you can take advantage of my strengths to benefit you, do it. Reach out to me. Email me, david@daviddellman.com. Put your comments down below. Reach out through my websites. Get in touch with me. You can also get in touch through Facebook. A lot of people do that. My links are down below. So by all means, get in touch if you think I can help you. But here's where I'm strong and here's where I'm weak. I'm a fairly creative guy. I'm well read. I know a lot about a lot of magic. I've done a lot of different kinds of performing. I've done kid shows. I've done some corporate work, not a whole lot. I've done some of it. I have done custom work. I have built illusions. I have performed illusions. I've done grand illusion shows. I've done manipulation. I've done coin magic. I've done billiard balls, thimbles, card manipulations. I've done the cups and balls and the linking rings and the egg bag and all those. I really, at this point in my life, I don't perform anything that doesn't have some originality about it. And I love mentalism because of the way mentalism effects lend themselves to unique plots. I love the plots and the storylines that I can develop as a mentalist. So that's where I am as a performer today. But if you're struggling with something, if you want to know something, if you want to be able to grow in some certain area, by all means reach out and let's work together. I would love to do that. Now here's where I'm weak. I have wanted to earn the bulk of my income strictly from performance magic. Now, I say that, and I recently saw a Dan Harlan video on Penguin. It was the last of the Tarbell series. And Dan Harlan came out, and you know what? So few magicians do this. Thank God for Dan Harlan. Dan Harlan came out, and check it out. In fact, I'll try to put the link below so you can see it. He came out and he did the last of the series of Tarbell. And Tarbell, by the way, devoted a lot of time to marketing, presentation, promotion, because these things go hand in hand with magic. You can't You can't be a performance magician in your living room. I mean, you've got to get out there and do shows. And in order to do that, you have to promote, you have to sell, you have to be pretty good at marketing. So Dan does this presentation, and he basically he does this survey where he gets annual incomes from a variety of magicians across the board. Now he puts David Copperfield in there, and he puts Penn and Teller in there. So you see these, but he identifies who they are and what they do. And by the way, David Copperfield is doing well over 500 shows a year. So the guys who are working are really working. And they're earning astronomical incomes. But you know what? That's to me, it's the equivalent of winning the lottery. Now David earned every dime, and Penn and Teller earned every dime. I don't want to take anything away from them, but there's got to be a lot of things that come together to create a successful career the way that they've had. I would be content if I could earn the bulk of my income from performance magic. Now we are in, as I record this, it is September 2020. And we are in the midst of the worst pandemic in my lifetime and perhaps in recent history, certainly since the pandemic of 1919. And it has impacted every professional magician. It is in this context, it was in July that I left my full-time job to devote my full-time efforts to entrepreneurial work. And I say that with the broadest stroke because the bulk of my income is coming to me right now through eBay sales. I'm buying and selling on eBay, and I'm making okay. I'm not setting the world on fire. I'm doing okay. There are, once I figure out what my expenses have been, and subtract that out of what I made, I probably made 19 cents, because it's expensive to do business on eBay. But that's where the bulk of my income's coming from. Now, I've had opportunity to go out and perform, and I've said no. Believe it or not, I would love to collect those performance fees. But what I say when people approach me and say, can you do a show for me on Tuesday or on Saturday or Sunday? I say, well, I'm doing Zoom shows. I'm doing Zoom shows because of the pandemic. I think that the Zoom show is safe. The Zoom show can be enjoyed by anyone, anywhere. Those that are vulnerable can enjoy a Zoom show from the comfort of their own home. I try to sell them on the Zoom show. And they say, no, I want somebody live. I want somebody to come to my home and entertain my guests. Well, how many guests are you having? Oh, 25 or 30 in a living room during a pandemic. It'll be safe. We'll social distance and you can wear a mask. If you're going to get together with 25 people in a living room, it is not safe. I'm just not comfortable, so I have not done it. And as a result, I've lost enormous amounts of business. Now, the weakness is my ability to market and sell in the magic business. I just have had difficulty. I remember a time in my history when, and this goes back to the 80s and 90s specifically, I could run a nice ad in the local Yellow Pages and maybe a few ads in local papers. Just spend a few dollars in advertising and I could work as much as I wanted to. The phone rang constantly. Well, with the advent of the internet, all that has stopped. Now a buyer goes on, I need a magician near me in Google. And whoever pops up, the first maybe 2 or 3, they're going to get the call. So search engine optimization is so important today, whereas it wasn't back then. And, people can put together pretty slick websites. And most of the people that I know are doing a number of different market segments, and they have a number of different websites to appeal to different market segments. I don't do that. I have one website. I have 7 websites, but they each do something different outside of magic. I have a website for my magic shop, and I have a website for magic performance, and then I have a website for writing, and I have a website for other types of interests. But marketing is where I'm suffering. I mean, if I were bringing in the money that I want to bring in, as a performer, I would say that yes, I have tremendous, something very valuable to offer you as a mentor. I would not take my advice as a marketing guru, because I'm not doing it. You know, I'm not achieving my goals. But if you want help developing your brand, or developing your act, or developing a particular effect, or creating something completely original, if you want help doing that, I think I can be of service to you. I really do. So it depends on what you're after. But I do offer mentoring services, and I would love to talk with you about it. And I would say, well, how much, Dave? I don't know. It really depends on what it is you have in mind, your goals. I don't have a fee structure for mentoring. I don't. If you're interested, you and I can talk, and I can find out what your goals are. I can explain what I might have to offer you, and we can decide what that's worth to you. I mean, that's how we can do it. That's what makes sense to me. I don't. If you go to my writer website, you will see that I have specific fees for specific functions. Magic just isn't that way. You go to 90% of magician websites, and most of them do not list a fee structure. And the reason they don't do that is because there's so much individual tailoring that goes into a magic show or into a magic service that it's very hard to pigeonhole. Everybody needs something a little bit different, and so you want to be flexible with your fees and so on. But I will tell you this, I'm going to be very affordable. I mean, I'm not going to take advantage of anyone. I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. I'm going to treat you the way I want you to treat me, the way I want to be treated. That's how you're going to be treated when you do business with me, no matter what business we're doing. That's the way it is, folks. I believe in equity, and I believe in fairness, and I'm going to treat you well because I want to be treated well myself. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Alex, I hope that answered your question about mentoring services. Thank you so much for asking. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and please comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.